My name is Brian Van Horn, and I have the honor of serving as the president here at Mayville State University. We had planned to meet with you last week, but because of Mother Nature and the blizzards, we were unable to do so. So we thought the best way to maybe share a little bit about our beautiful university was to walk you around the building and the campus a little bit and talk to you about different priorities we have for the spring 2023 legislative session. Thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to working with you. So one of the priorities of the North Dakota University system and of our university is salary increases for our faculty and staff. The governor has recommended 6 and 4%, and we're very appreciative for that consideration by yourself, the legislators, for the increased recommendations. Having said that, it's going to be very important for universities like Mayville State that are very small and have smaller reserves that we do not have to cover all of the additional wages should that not be fully funded. So our ask is that you would fully fund all benefited university positions at 6 and 4% for this next biennium budget. At the current time, we have roughly 34% of our employees that are paid from outside sources like grants and contracts, even additionally with tuition. And if it's not fully funded, then the university would be responsible for making that additional payment for the 6 and 4%. And frankly, we would not have those resources in our existing pool. So I would just ask that the consideration be for all benefited positions at the university, regardless of how they're funded, that the salary ranges be for 6 and 4%. The one place you'll get all 11 institutions in the state of North Dakota to agree on is the Challenge Grant. We do appreciate the Challenge Grant. It means a lot of private money comes into a public enterprise, a public education, and where thoughtfulness in funding that years ago has continued to be very successful. One of the considerations of the North Dakota University system and our university is the minimum amount payable payments. This allows universities to staff according to their needs. We know that the needs change yearly because enrollments come up and they also go down slightly, and we understand that, just like farming, bushels to the acres changes every year. This allows us to keep a stabilized workforce that's prepared when we see those peak times and also in those lesser times, and a minimum amount payable at or near 100% would be very helpful to helping us stabilize our operations. Workforce in North Dakota is the #1 challenge for the state, and we understand that, and we have bought in to trying to help solve some of the workforce issues that we have in this state, whether it's educators or agribusiness majors or other areas such as nursing and beyond. Workforce is very important to us, and we understand that, and we're expanding our offerings in those areas and have been doing so. Now that I say that, I want to talk about the equity issues that we have in keeping and retaining a solid workforce. At Mayville State University, we pay 73% of the median income average of the North Dakota University system, and even below if you look at the private enterprise. So what that means is our employees are generally making a roughly 27% less, which is creating a real problem for retaining our own workforce here at our university. Why is that important? I believe it's important because last summer, for example, we kept a highly educated individual that teaches a very specialized degree program that has grown that program in the last couple of years. If we lose that one employee over a few $1,000s, then we potentially lose 10, 15, 20, even 25 future workforce employees because we don't have the person to teach those classes. That's why workforce is important, and that's why we're asking for a special consideration of an allotment to help produce equity with our university and others. We're strategically placed between Fargo and Grand Forks, where many of our community members and employees transfer to at extremely higher wages, which makes it difficult for us to retain workforce under our current situation. Our #1 priority for Mayville State University during the 2023 biennium budget session will be the renovation of our Old Main project. Old Main was built in 2 different sections. It's a 55,000 square foot educational facility built in 1895 and 1905. They say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and even the beholder sees the errors and flaws that we now have in Old Main. It served us well, and it served us very long, but it's time to renovate this project. We're standing in the theater of Old Main. You'll see over my left shoulder, probably your right side of your screen, you'll see plaster that's fallen off the wall. Old Main is 83% instructional space, and it's really needed to help us grow our offerings and our opportunities for workforce in the state of North Dakota. Please consider helping support Old Main. We're going to show you a couple of more locations in the building as well. I hope you'll speak to your fellow legislators that maybe have seen this project, because a picture really does tell 10,000 words in the case of Old Main and the condition in which it's in. This is just an average classroom in Old Main here at Mayville State University. You'll notice that we have pipes in the ceilings running throughout the middle of the room. You'll notice that we have radiators on the walls that still are used. That's the heat that we have in these. And then you'll also notice the deterioration of the building. We've done the best that we could do at our university. It's just time to give Old Main a little bit of a refurbish and a renovation. So just wanted to show you the average space in this room is used every day by students across our university and all of our majors. Thank you for your time and taking a little virtual tour of Old Main with us. This is just a normal hallway in our building, and as you can see, it's a beautiful old building. It just needs the renovation to get it back up to par. There are several places in our building that have steps where students have to get into including classrooms and office spaces, as well as our faculty and staff, that are not ADA accessible. There is no way into those spaces without renovation. And there are other places in our building that have the same kind of challenges. The last thing that I should mention is, at one point this year, with no exaggeration, Old Main, we caught 12 live bats flying around in our classroom space and in our hallways, and that's a literal statement. The old building just needs some repair, and it is our #1 project for consideration of you for this legislative session. We appreciate what you do for the great state of North Dakota.